Welcome to a brand new season of BTRDA Autosport International Clubmans Rallycross in partnership with Toyo tyres. Their cars and drivers all set for action at the first round of the year at Blyton Park here in Lincolnshire. Almost 60 cars and drivers here, including plenty of new faces and old hands, with cars of all shapes, sizes and ages ready for action on this short but spectacular Lincolnshire circuit. First of all, we will take a lap of the circuit with the Subaru Impreza of Dan Beatty around the first turn past the paddock, then up the start-finish straight along the tarmac section of this circuit. Some very high speeds achieved here by the top cars. Then it swing round through a long left-hander, almost a double apex left-hander, which tightens on the way in towards the infield section over the loose, not used on the pre-season test day this year, so everyone should start on a level playing field. Down through the gears, swing it into the first of the hairpins, round to the right, and up the short squirts through the straight into the left-hander, which leads up to the famous jump here at Blyton. You'll see the quickest cars getting a bit of airtime off there later on. Over the old runways here at this former airfield, through the chicanes, down the back straight, then it's out to the penultimate corner, this long sweeping left-hander, then another short straight to follow, back up towards a 90-degree right-hander and the end of the lap. Dan Beatty chauffeuring us round there for a lap of the circuit. Onto the first of our finals then. This is the A final for the junior category, sponsored by HT Installation Limited for this season. The heat's dominated by the Constantine family, 3 of them out there. They each won a heat, Luke, James and Tom, and it's newcomer Luke in the yellow and black car who leads the way in his Suzuki Swift into the first turn. Morgan Roots coming through into second place in the number 38. Tucked in behind them, James and Tom Constantine. For Suzuki Swift's line astern, then onto the infield for the first time. Another Suzuki in 5th place is Eleanor Corner, but the first 4 already pulling away. Up the inside there, Morgan Root defending his 2nd place, breaking the Constantine domination, and there's contact there as they come through the hairpins. Morgan Root did very well to hold that together. Almost a corner cut by the green car of James Constantine. He's the cousin of brothers Tom and Luke, and it's Luke, the newcomer to the series this year, who leads the way. Was very quick on the pre-season test day here at Blyton. Morgan Root in 2nd place, then it's James and Tom. There's Eleanor Corner in the silver car in 5th position, ahead of Amy Baines, who's come into Rallycross this season from the world of autocross on the grass tracks in her Vauxhall Corsa, her first ever Rallycross to date. Behind her we've got Jamie Luthwaite in the Peugeot 205. Completing the field, Rogerio Mendez in a Peugeot 106. First lap completed then into lap 2 of 5. It is Luke Constantine who has got the lead. James under pressure from his cousin Tom, chasing hard there around the first couple of turns, up to the right-hander on the sandy loose section. Morgan Root breaking the family dominance. As we mentioned, the 3 Constantines each won a heat in the 3 heats section of this meeting, every class having 3 heats, with the drivers' best 2 results counting towards their grid position. Morgan Root with the quickest lap of the race so far, 1 minute 7.385 around the first lap. They go through the chicanes down the back straight at this Blyton facility, now owned by the Ginetta Sports Car Company. They've put in several improvements here at this venue over the last couple of years. Here's the battle for 5th position between the 2 lady racers. Eleanor Corner in 116 and the black number 40 Corsa of Amy Baines. There's Jamie Luthwaite in his Peugeot 205 in behind them. Rogerio Mendez is at the back in his Peugeot 106. So the field is split into 2 groups in this HT Installations Limited Junior Rallycross A final. Tom Constantine, it's unusual to see him as low as 4th place, it has to be said, normally up there in front. Shows how open this class has become for this year. Great to see numbers creeping up as well, as I believe at least another 5 drivers registered for this year's junior series. And Constantine with a lead of 1.2 seconds at the end of the last lap over Morgan Root as the lead pack files through the twisty infield section. Then it's up and over the jump. Clouds of dust being thrown up by the leading 2 cars. Morgan Root, another quick lap that time through, not letting Luke Constantine get away here. They head towards the end of the 3rd lap. There is James Constantine 3rd, Tom in 4th place in the red and black machine. And again, gap back to Eleanor Corner's Suzuki in 5th place. Good to see a variety of cars here as well, with the 2 Peugeots and the Corsa further back. There is the Corsa of Amy Baines, coming under a bit of pressure from Jamie Luthwaite in the number 512, sporting the old Peugeot Rally Team Works colours. Famous on there, 205s of the 1980s. Luke Constantine leads. Morgan Root, though, not giving him any peace at all in the orange camouflage liveried car. Side by side the 3rd now. Tom Constantine trying to get through there. Luke still holds the lead. We're on lap number 4 now, and understeering a little wide there, Luke Constantine. This is Morgan Root's opportunity, and he takes it and takes the lead. Morgan Root into the lead of our Junior A final as they go round towards the jump. Luke Constantine fighting back, gives Morgan a bit of a tap there as they go into the jump section. Luke Constantine looking for an overtake on this narrow back section of the circuit. He pulls around him there from the left-hander. That's a great move by Luke Constantine, and he sliced his way back into the lead. Excellent driving from the newcomer to the Junior Series this year. Morgan Root's back down in a 2nd place. They're coming round to start their final lap. A terrific fight between these 2. Luke Constantine's got the lead ahead of Morgan Root. Still James ahead of Tom Constantine for 3rd place. They're splitting off into pairs now. Eleanor Corner still leads the battle for 5th place, and Luke Constantine running wide, going onto the main straight here at Blyton. Here comes Morgan Root up the inside, going to try and retake the lead on the tarmac, heading towards the loose. He's up the inside. They almost draw handle together, and Morgan Root up the inside retakes the lead once again. Fantastic racing between these 2. Morgan Root runs a little deep there into the tightening left-hander. Then it's up towards the infield hairpin section. Luke Constantine trying to fight back for the lead. The treble 2 car of Rogerio Mendez has spun there, and that may have distracted them very slightly. He'll go a lap down as a result of that. Morgan Root a little bit out of shape through the infield section there, and Luke Constantine pushes his way back ahead as they go into the jump. This is a terrific fight between the 2. Whether they were thrown slightly off kilter by finding a car facing the wrong way in front of them of Rogerio Mendez, I'm not sure, but Luke Constantine has got the lead back again, and I think he's going to hold it till Morgan Root's run wide. Has that damaged his suspension, I wonder? He hit a pothole there on the outside of that left-hander. He's now under pressure from James Constantine for 2nd place, but Luke Constantine wins it. Morgan Root 2nd, James Constantine 3rd, Tom Constantine 4th. Rogerio Mendez will make it to the finish, albeit a lap down after that spin. And here comes the battle for 5th position in what's been a terrific opening final of the season for the juniors. Eleanor Corner running a bit wide off the final turn. It looks like she's going to hold off the Corsa of Amy Baines to take 5th position into the final turn. She does so. Corner will take 5th, Baines 6th, James Luthwaite in 7th. An excellent race there from the youngsters. Luke Constantine taking the win then by 1.4 seconds over Morgan Root. A fabulous battle between those 2. The other Constantines completing the top 4. And then Eleanor Corner winning the fight further back with Amy Baines and Jamie Luthwaite. Rogerio Mendez completing the finishes.
Luke, that was a great drive in your A final. Congratulations on the win. That was pretty close with Morgan out there.
Yeah, it was a really good race. We were swapping positions all the time at the end. Yeah, it was a really good race.
Excellent. You drove really well, so well done.
Yeah,
Will you be back for another round?
Yeah, most definitely, yeah.
Absolutely. We better warn him that you're back for get him again.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Onto the production 4x4 category. A new sponsor for them this year in the shape of European Rallycross team Albatech Racing. All 3 heats won by our onboard camera car of Dan Beattie. He gets underway looking for 4 wins out of 4. His main opposition will be reigning champion Paul Davis in the 2nd of the Subarus, and young Ross Connolly in the Nissan Pulsar GCIR in there in 3rd place. Completing the entry, Tracy Bennett in her Subaru. It's Dan Beattie who leads off around the opening lap of our Albatech Racing production 4x4 A final. This class was pretty much Formula Subaru last season. It's good to see the Nissan in there as well. Young Ross Connolly, the former junior rallycross racer, in 3rd. Began his career in a Nissan Micra. Quite a big step up here in the Nissan Pulsar, based on the Nissan Sunny. Dan Beattie out in front, very quick on the pre-season test day here at Blyton in February. 2nd place is the reigning champion Paul Davis. Ross Connolly running a little bit wide there in the Nissan in 3rd. Tracy Bennett at the back in the black Subaru. 4 entries in action here. We should see 1 or 2 more in subsequent rounds. The next round of the series coming up at Pembrey in Wales. It's good to have Albatech Racing on board this year. The international rallycross team run by Andy Scott. raced his Peugeot 208 in various rallycross events across Europe over the last few years. Dan Beattie leads the way, though, always flamboyant in his Subaru. We should see Mike and Liam Manning back in the series this year as well with their Subaru in subsequent rounds. The Welsh father and son duo taking on Dan Beattie and Paul Davis, who've always had a friendly rivalry in this category. He jumped and down the back straight, well, through the chicanes on the back straight section goes Beattie, keeping the red Subaru in front of the older GC8 shape blue version in the colours of the old Subaru World Rally team. Paul Davis in second place, Ross Connolly going well up in third in the Nissan. Nissan Pulsar did appear in World Rallying in the early 90s. There's Tracy Bennett in the SBS Property sponsored Subaru in fourth place, making her debut in the category. The lead is 1.3 seconds. Beattie over Davis, with Connolly a further 4 seconds or so back in third. This is good driving by Dan Beattie. Could he be a favourite for the title this year? Paul Davis looking a little tail happy in second place. Trying to get the car stopped there for the hairpin. Loses a little bit of ground, a little bit of momentum. Still clear of the Nissan of Ross Connolly in third place as they go over the jump. Fastest lap of the race by Dan Beattie at 1 minute 1.4 on lap 2. Ross Connolly in third. We mentioned the Nissan briefly appeared in World Rallying. This model, the likes of David Llewellyn and the great Stig Blomqvist towards the end of his illustrious career drove these cars in the 1991 season. Still leading the way, it is Dan Beattie into lap 4, chased by the famous blue and yellow coloured Subaru. Of course, those colours forever associated with the legendary Colin McRae. Lead has increased to 2 seconds now, so it looks like Dan Beattie is going to make it a maximum 4 wins out of 4. He won all 3 heats, but of course only the drivers' 2 best heat performances counted towards their grid position for the finals. Davis pushing hard as he dares in second place, as is young Ross Connolly in the Nissan in third. Red, blue, white they run, the black Subaru of Tracy Bennett in fourth place. With 1 minute 1.8 last time around, still just behind the quickest lap time. So 1 minute 1.4. Davis, the reigning champion, still there in second place. Connolly third. They come up to start their final lap up towards the square right-hander, up past the paddock entrance, and Paul Davis, a bit sideways there, coming out of the final corner, manages to gather up a bit of a fishtail there from his Subaru, but he's lost some ground, and surely this is Dan Beattie's race now. The lead gap up to 3.1 seconds now, so over a second gained on that last lap. Ross Connolly still there in third place in the Nissan, 7.6 seconds down on our race leader. Dan Beattie is surely heading for victory now in the 113. Tracy Bennett still going in fourth place, a bit further back. We see a change for second here, because that Subaru of Paul Davis looks very, very tail happy. Ross Connolly keeps things smooth here. He could catch him for second place in the last couple of turns. They're not going to catch this man though. Dan Beattie heading for victory in our Albatec Racing Production 4x4 A final. We ride with him around the last few corners towards the conclusion of the first A final of the season. Into the last corner, round to the right, there is the checkered flag. Dan Beattie punches the air as he crosses the line to win the Production 4x4 A final, sponsored by Albatec Racing. Paul Davis comes over in second place, Ross Connolly third, and further back Tracy Bennett will finish in fourth place in her debut in the Production 4x4 category in the black Subaru WRX. Good consistent driving by Tracy. We'll see her improve as the season goes on, I am sure. Round the last couple of turns she comes, a little further back in our 4-car field for this first A final of the season. Takes the checkered flag in fourth place. The winning margin in the end then for Dan Beattie was 3.3 seconds over defending champion Paul Davis. Ross Connolly a fine third, and Tracy Bennett completing the 4 finishes in our Albatec Production 4x4 A final.
Dan, congratulations on your A final win out there. Last year, from 4 rounds, you were third overall in the championship, which is excellent. Your first motorsport event. Are you aiming to build on that this year?
hoping to win the championship this year, yeah, definitely.
Excellent. Reach for the stars, eh?
Yeah.
And you look like you've been enjoying yourself.
Oh, it's been a great day. It's been good racing as well between me, Ross and Paul, so it's getting closer. It's good.
How's the track? Has it changed since last year, or is it, you know?
Unfortunately, it's a bit more bumpy this year, especially over the jumps, taking a bit of a knock, but yeah, it's not too bad.
Excellent. Well done, and good luck for your next round.
Cool, thank you.
So great action so far then, excellent from the juniors and the Clubman 4x4 category here at Blyton Park. Now it's time to move on to the Mel Williams Tyres production category, the category with the largest entry today. Unfortunate incident that stopped the D final for Lee Keeler. Wallop straight over he went after clipping a marker, caught by his onboard camera as well. End of play for Lee Keeler. Johnny Crisp went on to win that race in his Ford KA, joins the back of the grid for the C final, where the top two will once again go through into the B final. Peter Hamlet in pole position in his Peugeot 306 will lead them off alongside the MG ZR of Tom Edmonds. Coming through in the second place, Polish driver Krzysztof Kozon making his debut in the championship today in the Citroen Saxo. Another Saxo in fourth place of Sam Johnston, the green car, ahead of Richard Usher in the BMW Mini, also a BTRDA official, Richard. Peter Hamlet, Peugeot 306 leads away. Don't forget the top two in each final go on to the back of the grid for their next final. There's Johnny Crisp, the blue Ford KA at the back. He should have been joined from the D final, I should say, by Elliot Luthwaite. Unfortunately, his Peugeot 205 suffered a problem. He was unable to take his place back of the grid for this one. Peter Hamlet leads then in the sunshine here in Lincolnshire. Krzysztof Kozon in second ahead of Edmonds. Then it's Johnston in fourth place, Usher and Sean Ellis in the Citroen C2. I believe that's an ex-Dan Flitcroft car, I could be wrong. So that front is Hamlet, Peugeot 306. Not a widely seen car in Rallycross, although Will Gollop did campaign one for a time in the late 90s in the supercar division, after the Group B cars were outlawed. Edmonds in the MG ZR there in third place ahead of Sam Johnston. Of course, you have to get into the top two to go up into the next final. Half a second between the two leaders, Peter Hamlet and Krzysztof Kozon. Edmonds trying to close up there as they head through the infield section. Looks like we may have lost Johnny Crisp. No, there he is at the back in the Ford KA, so he's had a moment somewhere. Middle of the D final. Fabulous entry in the production category today, necessitating no fewer than 4 finals. At one stage it looked like there was going to have to be 5 A, B, C, D and E finals. Sean Ellis, 668, chasing the BMW Mini in the Blyton Park livery there of Richard Usher. Krzysztof Kozon coming under pressure for second place now from Tom Edmonds in the MG. Hamlet out front in the Peugeot 306. The battle is at the back between Ellis and Usher. 2.2 seconds in it now for the lead. Looks like we have now lost Johnny Crisp. I think he's pulled up at the back of the field in the KA. Down to 6 runners in this C final. 2 to qualify. Back of the grid for the B final, which we will see up next. That battle between Sean Ellis in green and Richard Usher in red and black. C2 against BMW Mini. Peugeot 306 leads from Citroen Saxo, MG ZR, and the Saxo in fourth place. Edmonds, a new name to the Mel Williams Tyres production category this year. First 3 have broken away slightly. To lap number 4, Peter Hamlet continues to lead the way in the 306. Used in rallying back in the 1990s, the Peugeot 306, both at British Championship level. Justin Dale was Peugeot's leading works driver then. Of course, the 306 Maxis in World Rallying. Swan Delacour, Gilles Panizzi among the drivers there, regularly embarrassing the more powerful four-wheel drive machinery in the World Rally Championship on tarmac in places like Corsica and Catalonia. Quite a different 306 here that leads the way, the car of Peter Hamlet, the 306 GTI. Christoph Kozon going well up there in second place in his Saxo. Turn of pace here, staying clear of Tom Edmonds. They come round to start the final lap. This production C final. He's going through to the back of the B final grid. Commiseration once again to Elliot Luthwaite, who finished second in the D final behind Johnny Crisp, was unable to start this race. To the final lap we go then. Down the straight into the left-hander. It's tightened slowly but surely all the way round it. Peter Hamlet's running a little wide there to get the line right for the second apex, and it's down to the loose section over the old runways here at the Blyton airfield. Still Richard Usher holding on ahead of Sean Ellis towards the back of the field, closing up over the infield hairpin section here on our leader Peter Hamlet's. The Saxo and the ZR right together now for second place. Tom Edmonds knows this is his last chance to try and steal second place and book his place in the B final. Leader leaving them for dust now though. Peter Hamlet is heading for victory in the 306. Down towards the last couple of corners. It looks as though Christoph Kozon is just about going to do enough to take second place. Round the left-hander. One more corner to go. Peter Hamlet takes the win. Kozon comes in second. They go through to the B final. Third place goes to Tom Edmonds. He just misses out. Sam Johnston is fourth. Fifth will be Richard Usher, who has dropped the number 668 of Sean Ellis. Looks like he's had a problem on the final lap. He comes in sixth position, the final finisher. So the win going to Peter Hamlet by 1.5 seconds ahead of Christoph Kozon. Thomas Edmonds in third place, just missing out on the next race. Sam Johnston fourth ahead of Richard Usher and Sean Ellis. Johnny Crisp was a retirement. Elliot Luthwaite a non-starter. Moving on to the B final then. 2 places available at the back of the A final grid. Christoph Kozon and Peter Hamlet at the back there. Away we go. It's Jamie Yap in his Peugeot 106 in pole position alongside Welshman Andrew Smith in his Renault Clio. They will lead the way down to the first corner, chased by Dan Lukaszewski, another of the Polish team, and Joe Meskauskas, the Lithuanian-born racer in the Citroën C2. Peter Hamlet's already made up a couple of places from the back. Trevor Bevan dropping back in his Saxo to the rear of the field, the blue car. It's Andrew Smith who has got the lead around the opening lap, then into the infield section. Bit of a traffic jam there at the hairpin. Peter Hamlet running out wide, trying to find some space to race. Jamie Yap in second place. Dan Lukaszewski in third as they go over the jump for the first time. It's Andrew Smith in his Clio who leads the way. Joe Meskauskas in fourth place in his Liqui Moly sponsored machine. Runs a hire car as well today, driven by Hal Ridge, the Rallycross journalist. He's qualified already for the A final. There's Trevor Bevan at the back in number 14 with his Saxo. The battle going on between the two Peugeot 106s for second place. There's Nathan Jones going through in his Honda Civic. Jamie Yap under pressure from Dan Lukaszewski, who moves to the outside into that first corner. A bit of smoke there from the Honda of Jones. He locks up chasing C-final winner Peter Hamlet. Christoph Kozon second in the C-final is further back, and now Lukaszewski trying hard, but he runs wide onto the grass. Meskauskas out of shape as well, and Lukaszewski's going to do well to get the car stopped there for the hairpin. Just about manages it. Lukaszewski and Meskauskas both make mistakes there into the hairpin, but they've held third and fourth places. Christoph Kozon's had some contact in there somewhere. His front bumper is hanging off. It's Andrew Smith missing all the fun out in front in his Renault Clio. Jamie Yap makes a mistake coming into the left-hander there, runs out wide onto the dirt. This could be Dan Lukaszewski's chance to take second place. Meskauskas is closing up as well, the Northamptonshire-based garage owner in the Citroën C2. 3 cars all over each other for second and third. Peter Hamlet not far away either. Neither is Nathan Jones in the Honda. Now he gets sideways. He's clipped the grass there coming into the left-hander. Kozon running wide at the back as well, having lost that front bumper off his Saxo. There's 3 cars almost on top of each other for second place now. Meskauskas almost putting the bumper in there as they go towards the loose section. We're on the third lap of the race now. Andrew Smith is 2.6 seconds up the road. He's missing all this. Jamie Yap a bit sideways, so is Meskauskas trying the Scandinavian flick into the hairpin. Yap gets a tap from Dan Lukaszewski. This is good Good defensive driving by Jamie Yap, holding that second place, and Peter Hamlet's going to make this a four-way battle now. Smith still clear at the front. It's Yap in second place. That's all important second. We'll put him onto the back of the grid for the A final in this Mel Williams tyres production category. Joe Meskauskas trying to make his way through as well. Andrew Smith still leading. The spin there for Christoph Kozon. And he qualified from the C final, missing his front bodywork, and now he's had a spin down to the back of the field. Smith with a clear lead. Everybody else bottled up behind Jamie Yap for second place. Looks like Lukaszewski's car trailing its exhaust pipe. You see it dragging under the car there as he chases relentlessly after the number 26 of Jamie Yap. Half a second in it at the end of the previous lap. The leader's nearly 4 seconds up the road. And Meskauskas only half a second further back as well in fourth ahead of Peter Hamlet. Into the infield section. Renault Clio leads. Two Peugeots second and third, then the Citroën, then another Peugeot, then the Honda of Nathan Jones. But over the jump maker in the dust there, still Jamie Yap in second place. Andrew Smith has got this race under control. He's heading for a place in the A final. Meskauskas under fire from Peter Hamlet, who clips the rut on the outside there towards the end of the lap. And towards the spectator banking and the paddock they come. Still, Dan Lukaszewski can't do anything about Jamie Yap ahead of him. The exhaust dragging underneath his Peugeot 106, not slowing him down though. Into the final lap we go. It's Andrew Smith in the clear by over 5 seconds ahead of Yap. Lukaszewski 2/10 of a second back. Then it's Meskauskas. Peter Hamlet goes straight on there. That'll lose him some time. Nathan Jones, Trevor Bevan and Christoph Kozon round out the field in this B final. Dan Lukaszewski again can't quite force a gap on the inside. Jamie Yap driving the widest Peugeot 106 in existence right now, metaphorically speaking. Problems for Andrew Smith. Here comes the Clio pilot. The Gower Motors car is heading for the victory. And is Jamie Yap going to hang on? Are we going to see a last bend lunge from Dan Lukaszewski? Andrew Smith comes through to take the checkered flag. He picks up the win. Here come the two Peugeot 106s. It looks like Jamie Yap is just going to hang on. Yes, he does, for second place. Good race there with Dan Lukaszewski. Then Meskauskas fourth, Hamlet fifth. Nathan Jones comes over in sixth place. Trevor Bevan is next home, and finally the battered car of Christoph Kozon completes the finishers. The win going to Andrew Smith by over 6 seconds in the end, 6/10 of a second in it between Jamie Yap and Dan Lukaszewski for second and third. Meskauskas for the head of Hamlet, Jones, Bevan and Kozon. Into the main event, the A final. One heat win each for Eddie Gibbs in his Renault Clio, Sue Lane in her Honda Civic, and Keith Kershaw, the Irish visitor, in his Peugeot. They're at the front of the grid. Will one of them make it a double in this A final? Unfortunately, B final winner Andrew Smith is not there. Looks like he's had a problem with the Clio. It's Eddie Gibbs in his Clio who leads around the first corner. Thomas Chojnacki, another of the UK-Poland Rallycross team, up into second place in his Peugeot 106. Sue Lane in third in her Honda Civic. Had an impressive day so far with a heat win. It's Eddie Gibbs who won the last round of this championship last year at Croft, who leads the way. Lane defending their third place from Keith Kershaw, the Irish visitor. There is Hal Ridge in the number 58 car, the Joe Meskauskas hire car. Leading Rallycross journalist, writing today for Motorsport News, covering the event by taking part in it. Eddie Gibbs leads the way then. The reigning production class champion Graham Rumsey not out in this event, nor is the overall BTRDA Clubmans Rallycross champion of last year, Jeff Hope Davies, the Welshman. Hope to see if he comes back later in the year. Sue Lane ahead of Keith Kershaw. In behind them, Dale Ford in his Saxo. Then it's Hal Ridge, writer and competitor. Behind them, Jamie Yap in his Peugeot 106. Second in the B final, as we say, Andrew Smith unable to start this A final, unfortunately. Bit of smoke from the back of Sue Lane's Honda Civic there as Eddie Gibbs continues to lead. He could be one of the favourites for this year's Mel Williams Tyres production title. Bit of a lock-up there from Thomas Choynashki, and here comes Keith Kershaw, bumps into the side of Sue Lane. Bit of door handling there through the infield hairpins. That's knocked a bit of trim loose on Sue's Honda Civic. She runs wide over the jump, holds the place though. Still out front it is Eddie Gibbs in the Renault Clio, looking for his second A final win in succession, if you like. He won the last round of the year in 2017 at Croft. Second place is Choynashki. Field starting to string as little. There's Hal Ridge ahead of Jamie Yap towards the back in the Meskauskas team hire car. Keith Kershaw, our Irish visitor, he had an A final win at Pembrey in this category last year. A multinational field out there. Poland, Lithuania, Republic of Ireland, Great Britain. You've got a Greek driver competing in BTRDA Autosport International Clubmans Rallycross over the last couple of years. Stratis Hatzistefanis with his BMW Mini. Keith Kershaw making a move at the outside of the treble 7. Sue Lane. That doesn't work though, he remains in 4th place. Eddie Gibbs beginning to increase his lead now in the Clio. Over the bumps they go, then it's over the jump into the back straights. These cars not getting much air off the jumps though, they need a bit more of a run up. Eddie Gibbs, 1 minute 4.5, his quickest lap so far. Wonderful variety in this huge number of entries in production today. Comfortably the biggest class within the Autosport International BTRDA Clubmans Rallycross Championship. This class provided the overall champion last year, Jeff Hope Davies. Proven he may be switching to circuit racing this year, making a change from Rallycross. We'll wait and see as the year progresses. Not out at Blyton today, as we mentioned. Eddie Gibbs away and clear by 1.8 seconds now on his 4th lap of the race. Of Thomas Choynashki in 2nd place. Latest of a long line of Polish talent in Rallycross as Keith Kershaw runs wide again, coming through the hairpin there, and he could lose 4th place to the Saxo behind him of Dale Ford. Behind him, Hal Ridge. Clear of the field is Eddie Gibbs. Choynashki, Lane, Kershaw, Dale Ford next through. Going to get back to Hal Ridge and Jamie Yap at the back of the field. Kershaw under fire now from Dale Ford in number 704, the silver Saxo. Battle developing for 4th place. First 3 starting to escape. We are on the last lap now. Eddie Gibbs had a heat win earlier on, so did Sue Lane, so did Keith Kershaw. Very evenly matched category this one. 3 heat winners in the top 4 places. Choynashki in 2nd place, splitting them. I don't think they're going to catch Eddie Gibbs here. Sue Lane, that's a bit of trim still hanging loose, still with a bit of smoke coming off the Honda. Could catch Thomas Choynashki here in the closing stages for 2nd. Eddie Gibbs a little bit wide through the hairpin there. There's Hal Ridge still holding off Jamie Yap at the back of the field. Side by side into the hairpin. Yap goes wide in that cloud of dust. Leaving everyone else for dust is Eddie Gibbs in the Renault Clio 172. Same type of car as we saw win the B final in the hands of Andrew Smith. Choynashki in 2nd in the first of the Saxos, then the Honda in 3rd. 3 different makes in the top 3 places. Round the final turn comes Eddie Gibbs to win the Mel Williams production A final. Back of the field, Hal Ridge fighting off Jamie Yap. 2nd goes to Choynashki, 3rd to Sue Lane. 4th is Keith Kershaw, then Dale Ford 5th, and Hal Ridge holding on for 6th ahead of Jamie Yap. Just about gets the car stopped there to head back into the paddock. Good fight between those two at the rear of the field. Eddie Gibbs the winner by 3.6 seconds ahead of Thomas Choynashki, with Lane a fine 3rd ahead of Keith Kershaw. Dale Ford 5th, and Hal Ridge just holding Jamie Yap for 6th place. Andrew Smith was unfortunately a non-starter.
Eddie, excellent A final win. Congratulations. It's great to see you back for another season. The car looks to be going excellent.
Yeah. Not too many little things we've done to it. Kept it pretty standard. So yeah, it's nice. It's going well.
And are you planning on another full season with the BTRDA again this year?
Yeah, I'm hoping so. So yeah, we're going to go with it. I know there's a few more races this year, but yeah, we're committed to that.
Excellent. Well, I look forward to seeing you in round 2.
Thank you.
Some terrific racing from the production category then. Plenty more Rallycross where that came from coming up after this short break. Don't go away. Welcome back to Blyton Park here at round one of the Autosport International BTRDA Clubmans Rallycross Championship. Now it's on to the pre-1995 Classic and Historic category, sponsored by Steve Gaunt Trailers. Sean Buckley in the Mark II Escort scored a hat-trick of wins in the heats, looking to make it 4 out of 4 from pole position in this A final. He's got a couple of BMWs just behind him on the grid as they get underway. Ryan Taylor in the blue BMW E30 and Richard Todd, the former production class competitor, in the white machine, but it's Buckley who leads around the first corner in his familiar Escort, a former champion in this division, lost his title to Brian Hardman in another Escort last year. Talking of Escorts, there's another one there in 4th place, the newer Ford Escort Cosworth of Lee Marsh, newcomer to the series this year. He's got the first of the Classic Minis behind him. That's reigning Classic Mini class champion Ian Clark. Then we've got Ryan Stutchbury in the Peugeot 205 and Craig Truelove at the back in his Mini. Buckley sideways over the jump for the first time. He and Brian Hardman pretty much carved up this category between them last season, with Hardman emerging as the eventual champion, but not out this weekend here at Blyton. Ryan Taylor, the blue BMW, up there in second, ahead of Richard Todd. Lee Marsh bouncing his way through the potholes there on the outside of the left-hander. Ian Clark going well ahead of Ryan Stutchbury in the Peugeot. His dad Scott used to compete alongside him in an identical green and white 205. Away goes Sean Buckley. He's dominated this category today, the man from North Wales, former Bangor racer. Second place is Ryan Taylor, already 1.5 seconds down, near enough. Main battle is for third. Richard Todd previously campaigned a Peugeot 106 in the production category, moving from front to rear wheel drive this season. It's the Escort Cosworth of Lee Marsh in style there from Sean Buckley, throwing the Mark II Escort through the hairpins, as is Ryan Taylor in the BMW E30. M3 models, those two. We have seen an M3 in the European Rallycross in the past. The E30 M3 was campaigned by the great Ludwig Hunsbett. Buckley out front in his Escort, as he has been all day in this category, won all 3 heats. Sideways driving there from Ryan Taylor, in style in the blue BMW. Back in 5th place, as expected, Ryan Stutchbury has got his Peugeot 205 ahead of the 2 Minis, Ian Clark and Craig Truelove. Minis, of course, have their own separate class within the historic category. There's also 2 separate classes, Classic Modified and Classic Supermodified. Sean Buckley leading the Supermodified category, and this is the battle for the lead in the Classic Modified division between the 2 BMWs. Ryan Taylor halted at the moment. He's already over 4 seconds down on Sean Buckley. Complete dominance from Sean, as we saw 2 years ago when he took the title. Ryan Taylor sideways again through the hairpin. It's getting really dusty out there now. At least the snow that has blighted motorsport through most of March has held off. It's the sun coming out here at Blyton this afternoon. Some speed there from Ryan Taylor down the back straight through the chicane. It's all for second place. Catching a glimpse there of Ian Clark in his Mini in the background. He couldn't get that car to run properly on test day here at Blyton pre-season, so good to see him leading his category. Taylor sideways again, that BMW really being flung around in great style. Richard Todd likewise. There's Stutchbury in the 205. Here comes Lee Marsh, the Escort Cosworth, moving up on the outside. He's got 3rd position, or has he? Runs wide around the first corner there, side by side with Richard Todd, and the BMW moves back ahead on the inside. The lead is now 8 seconds, with still 2 laps to go for Sean Buckley. This could be our most clear-cut victory of the day so far. There is Buckley in the background, just making his way towards the jump as the rest of the cars head into the hairpins. Marsh, impressive newcomer this year, putting Richard Todd under pressure once again for 3rd place, trying to force the BMW into a mistake. Ryan Stutchbury right there behind him, the man who took the fight to the Escorts and also Mike Grant's Fiesta last season. He won the last round of the championship at Croft in his Mark II Fiesta. 2 BMWs absolutely together now for 2nd place. It looks like Stutchbury has got through into 4th. Indeed, he has passed Lee Marsh in the Cosworth, but they're all well behind this man, Sean Buckley, going into his final lap. The man from Prestatyn in North Wales. Maybe we'll see his brother Dan also make the switch from Bangors in seasons to come. There is Stutchbury ahead of Marsh, now in 4th position. Ian Clark still 6th in the Battle of the Minis with Craig Truelove. One non-starter in this race, Mark Finch, the former production competitor in the ex-Paul Gosling Ford Fiesta. He had problems in the heats, unfortunately, and Stutchbury under pressure there from Lee Marsh. Peugeot holds 4th place, though. It's a great shame we haven't got Mark Finch in his Fiesta, the former Dutch Championship winning car, out in this one. A bit of smoke there from Sean Buckley, but I think he's built up enough of a lead to be able to coast to the line. If he does have a problem, he's going to take the win. But who's going to be second? One of the BMWs. Buckley comes through to take the win and start off his quest for another championship title in perfect fashion with a maximum. Second place, it looks like he's going to go to Ryan Taylor. The blue BMW takes second, wins the Classic Modified division. Third is Todd, fourth Stutchbury, fifth is Lee Marsh, and here comes Ian Clark, last year's Classic Mini champion, to start his title defence with a victory ahead of Craig Truelove in the treble 4 machine. Just 7 cars in that one then. Ian Clark comes in to win, making up for his mechanical problems on test day with that car. He's certainly pleased with that one. Number 1 he signals. So the win going to Sean Buckley by the huge margin of over 10 seconds. Half a second in it for second place between the BMWs of Taylor and Todd. And Ryan Stutchbury fourth ahead of Lee Marsh. Ian Clark topping the minis ahead of Craig Truelove. Mark Finch was a non-starter.
Sean, congratulations on your A final win today.
Thank you.
Was it great?
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. Just missing having a play with Dange, but there you go.
Yeah, I know he's not going to be here to battle with you this year, so you're out in front on your own at the moment. Looked really entertaining on track as always. Take it you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah, I had a good laugh. I've had a good day, to be honest with you. The car ran great, so all happy.
Excellent. So hopefully we'll see some great results in the next round.
Yeah, even got a hat to fit.
It's the first thing.
Thanks a lot.
Excellent action so far then here at Blyton Park today. Moving swiftly on next up then to the opening action from the AS Performance Super Modified category here at round 1 of the BTRDA Clubmans Rallycross Championship, sponsored by Autosport International. 4 cars on the grid for the B final, and the overwhelming favourite here should be Mike Dresser in the Lotus Exige, but he'll face competition from John Cross, another Rallycross veteran in the Seat Leon. Both of them previously competed on the continent. We've got Irishman Patrick Ryan in the Vauxhall Nova in 3rd place, and David Brown in the Ford Puma in 4th. It's Dresser who leads the way then, in competing in motorsport since the early 1980s, the first ever to campaign a Lotus Exige in Rallycross. That was back in 2003, previously famous for racing Metros among many other cars, but John Cross, who previously raced a Fiesta in the European Championship in the 1990s, takes his new Seat Leon into the lead over the jump. Dresser down to second. That car strong in a straight line on the tarmac, but not so good on the loose. Patrick Ryan in the Nova is there in 3rd place. David Brown at the back in the Ford Puma, and Patrick Ryan lunges for the inside, tries to push his way past. He does push his way past Mike Dresser, forces him out onto the grass and up into 2nd place. That Nova may be small, but it's very rapid. One non-starter, incidentally, in this race was Fred Ling in his Ford Fiesta. So just the 4 cars out there. The top 2 go through to the A final of the AS Performance Super Modified, and wallop into the back of the Nova goes Mike Dresser. The Lotus clearly quicker in a straight line, but the Nova not moving aside from it. I think that's damaged the exhaust pipe, possibly on Patrick Ryan's Nova. Road cone goes flying there as they head onto the dirt. It's still John Cross up front, but all the action at the moment is behind him. Cross runs a bit wide through the hairpin. Ryan could take the lead here. Yes, he's done it. It's an impressive performance by Patrick Ryan in his Nova, up over the jump for the 2nd time. John Cross in 2nd place, used to compete in a Autocross-sponsored Ford Fiesta in the European Championship, if memory serves me right, back in the 1990s. Competed regularly in the Netherlands as well, while Mike Dresser first raced in Rallycross in Germany back in the 80s, among other things. A Porsche, a Datsun Sunny and a Mini, before moving on to race Novas, Escorts. Also racing against the Group B cars of the late 1980s before becoming known as the man who battled Dave Ward in Metros. Mike Dresser, very popular, very experienced rallycrosser, chasing John Cross here for 2nd place. Another one of the greats of European rallycross from a British point of view. Of course, Will Gollop was the greatest of them all in his Metro 6R4s and Saabs. It's an Irishman out front here, Patrick Ryan, running wide though in the Nova through the hairpin there, running very wide, but he keeps his lead. Dresser, at the moment, he was the pre-race favourite here, but at the moment he's going to drop out and not make the A final. He needs to get back ahead of John Cross. Only the top two go through. Dave Brown dropping away in his Ford Puma. Great to have a new sponsor on board this year for the Supermodified AS Performance. There's the battle for second place between two Rallycross superstars. John Cross, Mike Dresser. Yellow Lotus chasing the black and white Seat Leon. A couple of laps to go now in this B-fine. Down the straight, this is where the Lotus is stronger on the tarmac. Tries to go to the outside. He's going to be on the wrong line for the left-hander though. John Cross again holds him off, the Mark 1 Seat Leon. This is allowing Patrick Ryan to get away. Looks like he's going through in one of the surprise packages of this meeting in his Nova. He's get onto the back of that B final grid, and John Cross almost come to a dead stop there in the middle of the hairpin. Did he lose power momentarily there? He's still second, John Cross, ahead of Mike Dresser. Over the jump they go. John Cross still in second place, so which one of these is going to join the back of the A final grid alongside Patrick Ryan? Into the last lap very shortly. John Cross still holding that second place, but on the straights the Lotus is of course stronger in a straight line on the tarmac. Into the right-hander to start the final lap. They're well behind this man Patrick Ryan now in the Nova. Pat Ryan Motors car heading for victory. Any question now who's going to be second? Mike Dresser trying for the inside line this time. John Cross doesn't give way, but Dresser's found the gap and he goes through into second place. Well, Mike Dresser's done it, knowing where the Lotus is stronger. Now can he hold it over the loose section? Seat Leon possibly marginally stronger on the dirt. Dave Brown still going in fourth place, but a long way behind the blue Ford Puma there in the background, and Dresser is hanging on, but only just. Seat tucked underneath the rear wing of the Lotus. Doesn't look like a rallycross car, but Mike Dresser the first to make a success of the Lotus Exige in the sport. Likes of Ash Simpson and the Bellaby family have followed since then. Well, Patrick Ryan's heading for victory. It looks as though Mike Dresser is going to take that second place. Ryan takes the checkered flag and wins in the Vauxhall Nova. Here come the battlers for second place. A terrific race between these two, and a flash of flame as the Lotus comes out of the final turn. Finishes in second place. Mike Dresser just by half a length ahead of John Cross. Terrific fight between those two, showing you don't need a big grid of cars for a good race in Rallycross. David Brown in the Ford Puma will come through to complete the finishers. Oh, a brilliant race there in the AS Performance Supermodified B final. Patrick Ryan the winner by nearly 10 seconds ahead of Mike Dresser, who beat John Cross by 6/10 for second place. David Brown in fourth in the Puma. Fred Ling's Fiesta, a non-starter.
Pat, that was a great B final win there. Congratulations. This is your first time in the championship as well.
It is, yeah. It's the first time over with the BTRDA, so happy to be here, and hopefully we can give it a good run for this year.
Excellent. It was some pretty close racing out on track this afternoon. Were you enjoying yourself?
It was, yeah. It's great. It's a very technical track. It kind of suits my car, to be honest. Good racing, clean racing, which is great. You know, so I'm delighted to get where we are now so far. So hopefully the rest of the day we can pull it out of the bag and go a bit further.
Excellent.
So hopefully we can.
Brilliant. So good luck in your A final this afternoon.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Time for the A final for the AS Performance Supermodified category. Then two wins in the heats for Tony Lynch in the Ford KA, one for Mark Jones in the Toyota MR2. They make up the front row, and it's Lynch in the ex-Gareth Wood KA who leads into the first corner, one of the Citroen C2s. That's Michael Boak running out wide. Nick Angrave has also had a spin in there in his Honda Integra. They push and squeeze their way down the straight. There's a straw bale caught in between a couple of the cars there. The straw bale was briefly in fifth place in this race. So it's Tony Lynch who leads the way then ahead of Mark Jones. Mike Dresser from the back of the grid, showing the speed of the Lotus in the straight line, has come through that first corner melee, and he's up into third place behind Mark Jones, the Welshman, former category champion in the MR2. Somewhere in the dust there is Patrick Ryan. He's up to fourth ahead of the first in the C2. That's Phil Chicken, last year's champion in the Supermodified division in his Citroen C2. He's ahead of Paul Johnson, and running wide there Mike Dresser loses a place, loses 2 places. Patrick Ryan is up to third place in the Nova. but it's Tony Lynch who leads the way. Previously campaigned a BMW Mini, now in the ex-Gareth Wood Ford KA. Leads Mark Jones in the Toyota MR2. Now in 1.8 seconds at the end of that lap. Ryan third, it's Chicken in fourth place, the defending category champion. Then it's Mike Dresser, Paul Johnson in the BMW M3. Michael Boak, the former Audi TT racer, now in the second of the C2s, went way wide around the first corner, was nearly heading off down to Gainsborough. Still leading the way, it is Tony Lynch. The order rather mixed up by that chaos on the first turn, and cones and bales flying everywhere, getting caught in between the cars. Mike Dresser on the fight back. He's past Paul Johnson, place swapping there, the big BMW. Looks like we may have lost Nick Angrave's Honda Integra. Remember in this corresponding meeting last year, he ended up parked on top of the jump and the race had to be stopped in one of the races at this meeting 12 months ago. More bad luck for the Honda pilots. Meantime, Mike Dresser going clear of Paul Johnson now, battling in the midfield, Michael Boak in behind them. It's the Lucas Oil sponsored Ford KA, 1.6 litre Ford engine squeezed under its bonnet. Leads the Marks Motors MR2 of Mark Jones and South Wales. Here comes Michael Boak chasing the BMW of Paul Johnson now. The battle for fifth position, led by Mike Dresser. Yo-yoing up and down the order, the Lotus in the early stages. At one stage was briefly second, but he's run wide there at the hairpin. He will be on the inside line for the left-hander though. But Paul Johnson has got through. The BMW makes up another place into fifth position. Happening in the midfield in this one. Mike Dresser could lose another place here because Michael Boak recovering from his problems on the first turn. Out in front, meanwhile, it is still Tony Lynch in the Ford KA ahead of Mark Jones in the MR2. One of the most incident-packed racing we've had today has come from the AS Performance Supermodified and Patrick Ryan. That Nova, seriously quick car, this Vauxhall. He's going for second place, he's through. Coming into the first corner there, but Jones fights back on the inside. The Nova puts the squeeze on him across the front. There's a little bit of contact. Patrick Ryan holds that second place. An impressive move there. Coming into lap 4. Meantime, Mike Dresser trying to fight back against Paul Johnson. He's got to be mindful that Michael Boak is there in the Citroen. They make contact now and Dresser slides off onto the grass. Oh dear, it's all going wrong for Mike Dresser in this A final after such a good start. Tony Lynch, meanwhile, continues to lead in the Ford KA. Lucas Oil Team Geriatric is the name of his team. Patrick Ryan in second ahead of Jones. Phil Chicken, the reigning category champion, is in fourth place, and a very experienced rallycrosser indeed. Into the last lap we go then here at Blyton Park. What an action-packed race this has been for the AS Performance Supermodified class. Even their B final was lively. Mike Dresser at the centre of both races. Lynch leads Ryan by 4.2 seconds now. The Nova three-wheeling its way around the first corner there. Mark Jones sliding the MR2 as well. Mike Dresser is dropping away in the Lotus, no doubt pretty frustrated. Cones there making an extra chicane in the middle of the road on the infield section. They get chewed up by the chasing pack there, Jones and Chicken. MR2 hanging the tail out again, the mid-engine roadster. Fastest lap of the race to Michael Boak, 1 minute 0.281 seconds. Here comes Tony Lynch, the man from Lancashire is heading for the victory. Clear of Patrick Ryan. That Nova, what a stellar performance he's put on in these finals. Won the B final, has come through for second in the A final, but it is going to be Tony Lynch who takes the victory in the Ford KA. Second for Patrick Ryan. Third will go to Mark Jones. Then Chicken comes over in fourth place. Michael Boak has come in for fifth ahead of Paul Johnson in the very sideways BMW. And Mike Dresser will be the final finisher. Nick Angrave, of course, dropping out early on in the Honda Integra. Let's check out the confirmed results of that one then. Tony Lynch the winner by 2.3 seconds ahead of Patrick Ryan, with Jones a little further back in third, then Chicken, Boak, Johnson, Dresser struggling his way home in seventh. Nick Angrave was a retirement.
Tony, congratulations on your A final win. First time back to the championship in a while. How are you feeling?
It's great, to be honest. Like I said, talking to you earlier, my engineer's retired now from work and he's looked after me for 30 years, and we started here with the MDA and the BTRDA, and you know, this is possibly our last year. We wanted to come back to our roots, and these are our priorities now. You know, Grandad and Uncle Tony. So, you know what I mean. We just wanted to enjoy it. And if I'm being perfectly honest with you, it's been a great day. And I'll tell you what, it's fierce out there. You know, it's no walk over here.
Pat was pretty close behind you as well, wasn't he?
Well, we've had a lot of coming together today. Just hang on a minute, babe. We've had a lot of coming together today, and just realised how close it was. So hopefully a little bit of experience made me realise it was about controlling the first corner really, and because getting past you today was very, very difficult, you know, because it's perfect racing conditions.
Yeah.
So if I could hold my line, and if I'm being honest with you, I probably owe them all an apology for trying to control the first corner, but do you know what I mean? You've got to check your chances, haven't you? That's what I mean,
exactly. You drove really well, so well done.
No,
Thank you
thanks very much. Like I say, it's great to be back to the BTRDA, and I'm really excited for that. And the main thing is about just enjoying it. The family, big family atmosphere. Yeah. It's what it's all about, and it's what motorsport should be all about. Thank you very much indeed.
See you in the next round.
Thank you. Bye bye. So bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Yay! Thank you.
A quite superb opener to the season then. Rallycross is certainly back for 2018 with a vengeance. That's about all from here at Blyton Park then. Hope you've enjoyed the action. Join us soon for our next action in the BTRDA Clubmans Rallycross Championship from Pembrey in South Wales. But it's goodbye for now.